Hello, and welcome to another episode of Good Fat Life. And today we have a very special guest from Vancouver, BC, right? Jill Fischer. And, full disclosure, she is our energy director for the Good Fat Life magazine, which is here kind of beside me. And so if you go to goodfatlife.com, you can check out Jill's articles and the cool stuff that she's doing and get a subscription. That is, we have these beautiful magazine subscriptions that show up to your door once a quarter, full of wonders and wonders in between the subscriptions that come to support the content of the magazine, or you can get digital. So that said, welcome, Jill. Jill has many superpowers, and today we're going to talk about QiGong, right? And also I do want to talk about your school and the energy work that you do as well. So welcome.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sherri. I look forward to receiving my subscription because, besides the great content and the recipes and the articles, but the envelope is so fun. All the avocados, I love that. It comes in this beautiful envelope that is all patterned with avocados.
Oh, well, thank you. I think I mentioned at one point that my granddaughter said that we needed to do an avocado intervention for me. So I'm like, no, you can never get too many avocados, right? They're just like nature's superfood. So tell us, Jill, I mean, one of the things, we have these amazing events that we do quarterly. And as the seasons change, and part of the event, it's like really, it's a fall in love with yourself, self-care, little 6 hours that you get at this magical location here in Brighton, Michigan, at the Brighton Lighthouse. And movement is always part of the experience because, movement, as one of my colleagues, Dr. Adam Rushford, who's a chiropractor, likes to say, is nature's magic little pill. There is a magic little pill, and it's free, right?
Yeah, if you think of movement in nature, like trees are swaying, grass is swaying, like everything's always fluidly moving, right? And if you think of ourselves as human beings, rather than being separate from nature, like I need to spend time in nature, what about thinking of that we are nature, right? So just like a tree sways and moves, are we glued to our computer all day and tap, 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 tap on the keyboard? And are we giving ourselves breaks where we're moving our body? And I love that. I love the magic little pill of movement. And I know that this subscription, this next magazine that's coming out, is on mood. And when you look at mood and where mood lives in you, it doesn't actually live in your brain, it lives in your body. And so when we move our body, we can easily move our mood. Like think of how good you feel after a walk in nature or a run, or actually moving your body. It
Right.
shifts your mood.
It does, and I love that idea that whoever feels worse after moving. Right. So if you go, you could kill yourself on a workout, I guess, or you do a hike where it's just more than maybe your body's accustomed to. But for them, even then, you still feel pretty good.
I know. I was walking. I was downtown Vancouver with my daughter. My daughter's 19, and I'm walking, and she goes, "Mom, slow down." Right, which is kind of the opposite of what usually happens. But she said, "I worked out on my legs so much yesterday, I can hardly move now."
Right.
Right. So you can move. So it's like, no pain, no gain, like that kind of movement where you're really, really pushing your edge. And then, navigating so that you don't push into injury. But you don't have to move to that level, right? You can do, I would call that more of a masculine energy for movement, where you're forcing or you're pushing or you're trying to make your new personal best. as opposed to more of a feminine energy of movement of qigong or tai chi or yoga or swimming, like where you may, where am I going with this? Sorry.
So like Pilates, where it's more of flow.
Yeah, more of a
It's
flow.
more
Really, you
flow.
can do anything in a masculine or feminine way. But what I'm speaking into is more of a flow that you're allowing that movement to support the flow in your body so that you're in a healthy state.
Yeah. What is qigong? I mean, I know nothing about it.
Qigong is amazing. Qigong is an ancient movement. And if you think of Qigong like an umbrella, of where, like, when you go to the park and you see people in the park being really cool, they're doing Tai Chi, right? Like they're moving really, that's a type of Qigong. So there's many different modalities within Qigong. And the movement for people of all ages, because it's such a fluid movement, it's easy for anybody to do. It's not, it's certainly not no pain, no gain. In fact, if there is any pain, you want to back off.
Mm.
And the movement is so that you're working with, in traditional Chinese medicine, you're working with meridians, acupressure points, and energy centers in the body, so that when you're doing certain movements, you can move energy out of your kidneys by doing certain movements, or you can move energy, out of your small intestine that, could be tied into abandonment, right? That the movements associated with emotions as well as organs and energy circuits in your body.
How would you even know that your kidney needs to have energy moved out of it?
Well, kidney holds, yeah, good question. How would you know? Well, you might have lower back pain. Emotion wise, conflict is held there.
Mm.
Um, being irritated is held there. Feeling unsupported is held there, right? Like if you think of your back as supporting you, and when you haven't built a support system around you, you can actually have lower back pain from that.
Hmm.
So it goes into even, what Louise Hay developed for us, where the body association to energies, and the the lower back or the kidney area, it can be where a lot of fear is held. Oh, think about it when you're about to do something like public speak, right? Like, or go on Sherri's podcast, right? And you might be nervous, and all of a sudden you have to pee. It's like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. That's your kidneys. That's where fear is held, and so you're actually feeling the emotion in your kidneys
Oh
because,
my
like,
gosh, because that always happens, right? It's
oh
like
no, you
right
know
before
why?
something big, it's like, oh my God, I got to pee. And it's like, but I really don't. I
I
really
know,
don't
like,
have to. But
fear, but it's like you feel like you do because your kidneys are activated because the fear is activated.
oh my gosh. So, okay. So, um, then what's a normal, or how did you get into this? So,
How did I get into this? Well,
yeah.
gosh, let me think. I'm rewinding my life now. So I met a qigong master. Her name's Master Teresa Young, and she's out in Toronto. And I connected her through a company called the Evolutionary Business Council. And she
Mm.
came out here. She was wanting to expand her business out into the West Coast. And so we met, and we did some qigong together. And I attended some of her trainings, and I found that it was just, I've never been a real yoga person. Like, I know a lot of my friends love yoga, and it's just like, I don't know, it just hasn't chunked with me, right? Like, it's, but the qigong, I just loved it. Like, it was easy, it was fluid, it was graceful, and surprisingly effective. Like, how much better I felt afterwards, and
Mm.
it felt like I didn't do anything. It just felt like I kind of moved my arms around a little bit.
So you didn't have to have that like stress of like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go do this session and I'm going to be dead. I'll be checking my watch. When is it over? When is it over? Right? Because I just can't wait to be done. So you're not having that experience.
It's not hardcore exercise. It's highly effective. And so I really got into qigong when COVID hit, because my normal day-to-day practice is a combination of energy healing and hypnotherapy. And I was working in a clinic, and of course the clinic closed down. So I moved home, and I was like, well, the clinic gave me structure, right? Like I'm self-employed, but the clinic, I would show up and, work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. So it gave me structure. And now I'm home and I can stay in my pajamas all day. I need structure. So I started a qigong class on Zoom with a number of my clients and friends and different people that were interested. And I did qigong classes every day, every morning for 3 years.
Wow.
And it was amazing how my life, my business tripled, which was totally, the opposite of what was happening for most people during COVID. And my health was strong. I never got sick. I never got COVID. And I don't know if that's because of the qigong or the other things that I do as well, but my immune system was strong. The people that were on the call, they came back with, raving results. I even had a woman, she did it from the chair, right? And because she had an injury, she had fallen off of her bike. And qigong is, sorry, I'm talking really fast because I'm excited.
No.
Qigong is very grounding. Like, it gets you to be aware of your body. And my client, at the beginning of COVID, she had fallen off of her bike, and she was, when you're kind of, your attention is outside of your body, like you're so like, I'm having so much fun. And our focus can be outside of her body and not in her body. And she had done this, and she was just standing there straddling her bike, talking to somebody, really excited because it was really beautiful and she was happy. And boom, she went down and fell, and she broke her elbow. She shattered her elbow.
Wow.
Had surgery and a pin and everything in it. And so her movement was limited, right? But she still came to the classes, and she did it one-armed, right? Because there's lots of arm movements. And then when it was the other arm, she would just imagine it, almost like, how you have phantom energy for loss.
Yeah.
I mean, she still had the limb, but she would just imagine that she was doing it. And her healing was off the charts. For like the doctors took the pin out 6 months ahead of time. It was supposed to be in there for a year, and they took it out after 6 months. Yeah. So the energy movement, when your energy is moving in your body, you're healthy. When energy is stagnant, kind of think of like water, right? When water is stagnant, it becomes stinky and like a habitat for
Mosquitoes.
mosquito hatching. and unhealthy, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same
Right.
with our body. We want the energy to be moving. When energy gets distorted or stagnant, that creates some kind of problem, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, some kind of festering of resistance is happening there, and that lowers your frequency, and then there becomes some kind of unhealth in that area.
Do you want to show us what a simple movement looks like or something?
We could. Yeah, totally.
Okay.
You can follow along in your chair if you want, or if you have enough room there. I don't know if you have enough room you don't need a lot of room for qigong. Maybe I'll just back up here and demonstrate a little bit. So here, you can see me okay?
Yep. We can see you.
Okay, good. Okay. So let's start just with like a little massage for your heart and chest. So kind of like your Tarzan. You can even make some Tarzan yells if you want. I always think of Carol Burnett when I do this one, because she would every once in a while do a Tarzan yell on her show.
This would be fun to do with the grandkids.
Oh, totally.
Right? Yeah.
Totally. Okay, so then stretch out your right hand and tap with an open hand from your inside of your shoulder down the inside of your arm turn your hand down and tap from the top of your hand to top of your arm, back, and then stretch out and do the other hand. Palm up, tap from your shoulder down into your fingertips. Turn your hand down, tap from the back side and back up. And then we'll come back and do the other one. So when your hand is up, we're tapping the yin, so the feminine energy of your arm. And then your hand down, we're tapping the yang, the masculine energy. Good. And one more time. Other hand, tap.
Like whoever thought your arm had masculine and feminine energy in it, right?
Oh, okay, now arm up. Good. And tap into your armpit. This is really good breast cancer prevention energy. And then down your waist. Good. And take your other arm, tap under your armpit, and down your body. Good. Now tap as best you can in your chair, kind of just around your tummy and your groin. So we want the lymph system to move.
Okay.
Right? The lymph system is moving. It's the system in your body it's kind of like the garbage men coming by taking the garbage away. We want to make sure that energy is moving so the toxicities can be taken out of your body. And then take one hand over the other, over your belly button, and do circles. And you want to do clockwise circles. That's the direction that your intestines, your large intestines move. So you're just sending love into your tummy. This is great too if you're having troubles with digestion. If something's gurgling in your tummy, just give it some love. Very gentle, kind of the feeling of like how you would touch a little baby, like that kind of tenderness to your tummy. Good. All right, now swing your arms. Okay, bring them up if you can. And swing down, maybe just kind of bend down in your chair and up. And so if you're standing, you would have slightly bent knees, all the cords, and down. And then you look down and then up, breathe in, breathe out as you go down, breathe in as you come up, breathe out as you go down. One more, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, we'll do one more stretch. This one feels really good. And you can do it from your chair. So take your left hand and hold your right wrist and then stretch over to the right and just feel that open stretch. This helps your liver, your gallbladder. Breathe
feels
in.
Amazing. Yeah, it feels so good. Even just from this kind of like.
Okay, now switch hands.
Mini spaced.
Your other hand to your other wrist and stretch on the other side. I'm stretching on my left side. Breathe in, breathe out. Let it feel good. Don't push to pain. If there's any pain, just back it off. Breathe in, breathe out, and come center. Good, and shake it out. All right.
Yeah, that just felt amazing. I mean, even just with this limited space. So I know that you're doing a 40-day challenge or
Yes.
40 days. So tell me about that.
It's not 3 years, 40 days.
40 days, right? Okay. All right. So tell me about that. I'm like, just with this even little demonstration, it's like, I want to do this every day and see what happens.
Well,
right?
It feels so good. It feels so good. And it's fun to do it in a group. So we're doing it on a group and it's recorded if you can't make the live time, right? So every day we'll do some QiGong classes on Zoom, and it's held on Facebook on a private page. If you join, then you can watch the recordings and do it at any time during the day. It will be done at 9 a.m. on Pacific time. So I believe that's your 12.
Noon. Yep.
Noon.
Noon.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
For East Coast time. Yep.
A noon break for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do a different routine every day. There's routines for your eyes. There's routines for abundance. There's routines for shifting your mood. There's routines for improving your posture. There's routines for brain optimization, right? Like you can have different topics. This is 40 days is actually focused on of course, moving your energy. And this is part of a program that I teach called Flourish, and it's Women in Wealth. And it's about expanding your capacity to receive, specifically money. We can receive lots of things. This one's around specifically money. So it's also tied into tips and energetic shifts that you can put into your environment to expand your abundance.
So all
So,
kinds. Oh, and I love that it's around receiving. We women are not so great at receiving. We
we've been
give,
very schooled not to receive, to give, give,
right?
give, give.
Give, give, give. And like I like to say all the time, that the oxygen mask is such a good example, right? If you're not full, you have nothing to give,
You can't give from what you don't have,
right? But when
right?
we're full, and you see it, when people are full, it just
It's like a fountain.
exudes. Yes,
Yeah, it's like a
yes,
fountain.
yes,
Like if you think of the pipe gets full so much it sprays up and out. That's our natural state, right? Upwards and
right,
outwards. And so when we're full, of course we're going to give. When we're empty, it's hard to give. We just like maybe little spits here and there, right? But
right.
the receiving, like if you think of times maybe when you were a kid and you were playing in a sprinkler, super fun, right? Like the sprinkler is full of water, and so it just sprays it on us.
Right.
And as opposed to maybe a hose that's kind of trickling, right? So we want to be that sprinkler, we want to be the fountain. And
I
that
love that.
comes from receiving first. And that
Receiving for, yeah. And moving, and to your point, moving the energy so that we are able to receive.
exactly. Yeah, if your energy, good point. Good circle back. If we're stagnant, if our energy is stuck in our body, and we all have stuck energy, we're human, nobody's perfect, right? But when our energy is stuck, it actually gets in the way of that flow of energy so that we can give and we can receive. So when somebody gives you something like, here you go, Sherri, this is a cutest little mug with two little birdies on it. And you go, oh, no, 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 that's too special. You keep it. We stopped the flow of giving and receiving, right? As
Right.
opposed to, here you go, Sherri.
Oh,
And you
thank you
say,
so much. Yeah,
yes,
I
isn't
love
it
it.
very
Yay.
cool? Yeah.
Right.
And you've
Right.
actually given me the gift of you appreciating what I gave you, right? So that's where giving and
Right.
receiving becomes the same thing.
Right.
Where
Right.
your
It's
receiving was my gift.
right. And I mean, and we all know the difference. We can all feel that energy when somebody receives graciously or enthusiastically or with high energy. It just like that whole elevation, the room elevates.
Totally. Totally.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Because when you think of gratitude, frequency wise is a very high frequency, right? And when you receive with that graciousness, you're in the gratitude frequency. So, yes, just like you said, the whole room rises.
Right. So and I love, I love the idea or the ability to have a tool or a process that can elevate me physically, right? And it's fun. And so 40 days, is that why 40 days?
Well, so good question. So, 40 days is referenced in the Bible a number of times.
Okay.
And I know that there's a lot of information out there. It says it takes 21 days to change a habit or to break a habit or to build a habit. I disagree. I don't think it's an absolute number. I don't think it's absolutely 40. I don't think it's absolutely 21. I think everybody is different. And we're all so complicated and complex as individuals. And I think somebody might take 300 days. Some people might take 4 days, right? Like it's all over the map. And so 40 days to me felt like it's enough time. Might be 90 days, right? It
Right.
might be 20 days. But 40 days to me felt like it's biblically referenced. So there's some clout, depending on your belief system. But there's some good stuff in the Bible. And there's a good chunk of like it's about a month and 10 days, right? So that's a good chunk of time to invest into something that's healthy. It's not too much that it's daunting and overwhelming, right? If I said it's a 3-year challenge, you might go, okay, see ya.
Yeah.
Right? If I said it's a week, it's not enough. Right.
Right.
So
Right.
so that's why I chose 40 days. Felt like, okay,
Okay.
that's a good chunk of time to build community, to build connection, to start this to be a habit. And then there's some people might want to continue, some people might want to just reference the videos that we have and practice from those. But yeah, 40 felt good.
Okay. All right. So if somebody wants to know more, we'll put the links in our episode, right?
Please
Or
do.
where would they go? Can you
Well, and
just
we're starting at September 1st till October 10th. So
okay.
even if this is, if you're entering in midstream, you can enter in at any point as
Okay.
well. It's each day is a standalone exercise and lesson so that
Okay.
you can jump in at any time. And then if you jump in, you can see the previous, you can have access to all of them, right?
All of them. Okay. All right. And
Yeah.
like you said, you have access forever,
You have access as
or is
long
it
as it's up, which can be forever for sure. I mean, as long as Facebook is running.
okay. Okay.
Or
Got
Meta,
it.
it's called now Meta. Yeah, but I don't see Facebook going away. So yeah, it'll be housed there. And the link to access would be through my website, which is my name, jillfischer.ca. So because I'm in Canada.
Right. A.
Yeah, and Fisher is spelled with a C, an S and a C. So it's Fischer. Yeah,
Okay.
and we'll put the direct link right here as
In the show notes. Well,
yeah,
this has just been delightful and informative, and I'm so excited because you will be sharing your wisdom at our workshop, and
absolutely.
that is very exciting. Yeah, just all good, Jill. Just
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. It's super fun. Super fun. I always love being with you.
yeah, well, same here, and I'm looking forward to your article in the next issue of Good Fat Life because
Absolutely.
what we haven't talked about is Jill has a hypnotherapy school and does some really incredible, very deep and healing work and fun, lots of fun too. And so, but that's a topic for another day.
Another day. Yes, and it's
Another-
unique in that the energy I have a master's in energy psychology, so I interweave that into the hypnotherapy. So it creates a very unique process that's very comprehensive and deep. And we laugh. We might cry too, and we laugh.
And we laugh. Right. Right. And it's profound. I mean, I've gone through a number of her sessions and it's profound. There's just no way, and there's no way to describe really what changes, but it changes. Right.
Yeah, it's deep, and the proof of the pudding is that your quality of life improves. You know, whether it's losing weight or sleeping better or getting the contracts that you've been, wanting to go for. It's like there's this, or better relationships. There's this, the inner foundation of you has shifted to a more wholeness of who you really are, and then you live from there. And people notice, like it's like, hey, what's going on over there?
Right.
Something's good.
Something's changed. Right. I want
Good.
some of that. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. Well,
absolutely.
all right. All good. We could talk for hours, and I'm excited to start your program. I'll be there on September 1st.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
Just even this little reminder, it was just even your little demonstration, it was just like a reminder of there's nothing more important than taking care of ourselves and moving
Absolutely.
that. If there's something simple and easy that I can do for 10 or 15 minutes a day that helps me be just a better me, why not?
When energy's
Right?
moving, you're a better you. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
more you. You're more tuned into who you really are.
Yeah. And I won't even
Love.
say better, just
Yeah.
more authentic or whatever. Yeah. More of who we are.
More of who you are, which is love.
Of,
So you're more
right.
love.
Well, I
And
love
you're
you.
love. I love you
Yes.
too.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you so much to our listeners, and we hope that you found this useful and will go check out what all the amazing work that Jill is doing. And then also you can go over to goodfatlife.com and check out all the cool stuff that's going on there. It's a good day. So that's it. Thank you again, and let's go out and live our good fat life.